All right, welcome back to the New Sentinel, folks. Today, we're diving into something that's been on my mind since I first set foot in Texas. What really makes a state red or blue? Now I know, these colors, they weren't always part of the political lingo. It was the 2000 election, right? That's when the media started painting the map, literally, with red for Republicans and blue for Democrats. Before that, it was all over the place. But now, it's like, you say red state. Everyone knows what you mean. It's not just about how people vote, though. It's a whole way of life.
Yeah, Chikwuka, you nailed it. I mean, you look at red states, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, what do you see? Folks here want small government, low taxes, and, a little less interference. There's a real pride and tradition in church on Sundays and the kind of community where you know your neighbor. And, yeah, a lot of folks are into country music, rodeos, all that. It's not just politics, it's culture. It's the way people live and what they value.
Roger that, Major. And from my time in the Army, you see it clear as day. Red states, they're about freedom, less regulation, more personal responsibility. You want to start a business? You do it. You want to own a gun? You do it. It's simple. But you go to a blue state, New York, California, man, it's a different world. High taxes, more rules, more government in your business. And look, I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but it's a real divide. It's like two Americas sometimes.
I think it's important to remember, though, that blue states are not just about taxes and regulations. They invest in social welfare, in public education, in healthcare. There is a focus on diversity, inclusion, and civil rights. Yes, it can be expensive, but you also have access to world-class universities, hospitals, and cultural experiences. For many people, especially those who have been marginalized, blue states offer a sense of safety and opportunity that is not always present elsewhere.
Olga, that's fair. I mean, when I moved from New York to Texas, it was a shock. In New York, everything's fast, diverse, expensive. You got every kind of food, every kind of person. But man, the taxes and the rules, don't get me started. Then I get to Texas and it's like, slow down, breathe, enjoy the space. People wave at you, but you better be ready to handle things yourself. It's a different kind of freedom. I had to adjust, but I see the appeal on both sides. It's not just about politics. It's about what you want out of life.
And that's the thing, right? It's not just red versus blue on a map. It's about what you value. Security, tradition, opportunity, or maybe diversity and social support. And honestly, sometimes the stereotypes don't fit. There's plenty of conservatives in blue states and progressives in red ones. But the way the states run, the laws, the culture, that's where you see the real difference.
So, let's talk about why folks are packing up and moving. And it's not just the weather, despite what some say. I mean, look at the numbers. Over the last decade, blue states like New York and California lost millions to other states, while red states like Texas and Florida gained them. And it ain't just retirees, it's families, young professionals, businesses. Why? Jobs, taxes, cost of living. You can stretch a dollar further in Tennessee than you can in Jersey, that's for sure.
Yeah, Duke. I remember during the pandemic, you couldn't even get a moving truck out of New York City. People were leaving in droves. And it wasn't just about COVID. It was about affordability. Folks realized they could work remotely, so why pay sky-high rent when you could get a house in Texas for half the price? And the job market, Texas and Florida, they're booming. Logistics, tech, energy, you name it. It's opportunity, plain and simple.
But we have to ask, is this sustainable? Red states attract people with low taxes and fewer regulations. But what about the hidden costs? Often there is less investment in healthcare, in public education, in social safety nets. I spoke to a family who left New York for Florida. They loved the lower taxes, but when their child needed specialized medical care, they struggled to find support. Sometimes the savings come at a price that is not immediately obvious.
That's a good point, Olga. But, a lot of folks are willing to make that trade. They want the freedom to keep more of their paycheck, to start a business without jumping through hoops. And, Yeah, maybe the schools aren't as well funded, but there's more school choice, more options. It's a different set of priorities, and honestly, some of these red states are starting to invest more in tech and logistics, trying to keep up with the times.
And let's not forget, it's not all rosy in the red states. Some of the lowest cost of living states also have the highest poverty rates. So, it's a balance. You get more freedom, but sometimes less support. And, like you said, Olga, the hidden costs, healthcare, education, even infrastructure, can catch up with you. But for a lot of people, especially those priced out of blue states, it's worth the risk.
Yeah, and it's not just about taxes or jobs, it's about quality of life. Folks want to feel safe, want to have a yard, want to send their kids to a decent school. And if they can't get that in a blue state, they're going to look elsewhere. That's just how it is. People vote with their feet before they vote at the ballot box.
So, what does all this movement mean for the country? It's not just about where people live, it's about power. Every 10 years, the census shifts House seats and electoral votes. After the last census, blue states like New York and California lost seats, while Texas and Florida gained. If this trend continues, by 2032, the political map could look very different, and not in a way that favors Democrats. This is a real concern for anyone who cares about representation and balance.
Yeah, and it's not just about numbers. It's about what those states offer. Red states are winning on business growth, lower taxes, more jobs, more companies moving in. But blue states, they're still the innovation hubs. Tech, finance, healthcare, all that. It's a classic SWAT situation. Red states got strengths in affordability in business, but weaknesses in healthcare and education. Blue states got strengths in innovation and services, but they're losing people because it's just too dang expensive to live there.
And you got this brain drain, right? Young, talented folks leaving blue states because they can't afford to stay. But sometimes they get to a red state and realize, hey, the support systems aren't the same. It's a trade-off. I mean, I know people who left California for Arizona. Cheaper, sure, but they miss the community, the diversity, the social programs. It's not always a win-win.
Exactly, Chukwuka. I spoke to a family who made that move. They saved money, yes, but they lost their support network. The mother told me she felt isolated, and when her husband lost his job, there was less help available. It's not just about economics, it's about social fabric, about belonging. And as more people move, we risk deepening the divides, not just politically, but culturally and socially.
But, that's the new battlefield. It's not just about who wins the next election. It's about who builds the future. Red states got to figure out how to keep up with innovation, and blue states got to figure out how to keep people from leaving. It's a chess game, and the board's shifting every year. Adapt or get left behind, that's the mission.
Well said, Duke. And that's where we'll leave it for today. The red and blue divide, it's not going away, but it's changing. Where you live, what you value, what you're willing to trade off, that's the real story. We'll keep watching how this plays out, and we'll be back to break it down again. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Olga, Major, Duke, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Chukwuka, and thank you to our listeners. Remember, behind every statistic is a real family, a real story. We'll keep bringing those stories to you.
Appreciate it, y'all. Stay sharp, keep thinking, and we'll see you next time.
Copy that. Stay safe, folks. We'll catch you on the next op. Out.